Captain's Log Supplemental.
So, Miss Vicki.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember when we were watching those WRL events and some of those grid life events where you used to see the in-car video and it had like the cameras seeing front and back, but it also could see all the telemetry and everything that was going on?
Mm-hmm.
You know, most of the ones that we liked were taken by the Sentinel system. Remember James came on our podcast earlier?
Right.
You know, we have no excuse since he lent us one for trial and demonstration purposes. We should actually probably put that in one of our cars. Maybe two.
I really think we should.
I think we should.
I know.
Because then we'd look like the immature endurance racing team that we are. Oh, wait, I mispronounced that, didn't I? Sorry, my bad. We could
So what does
have-
the Sentinel system do?
We could have 3 cameras with picture-in-picture. We could have, if we ever get the AIM system to work, open invitation to anybody from AIM to come on and give us a little bit of love. We need some help. And then we could have all our telemetry on there. And then we can have it streamed live into the paddock or around the world to our millions of fans. We're apparently very popular in Kenya right now. Don't know why, but that's fine. And it can integrate all the available race statistics from like Race Hero and everything. So we could actually see how we're doing on video. We wouldn't even have to carry around our phone anymore. Live.
I love it.
From the great halls of their house, there are assembled 3 who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher. Their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicki Fisher. Our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Skripchuk. And our Batman, the master of tools, gadgets, and all things mechanical, our mild-mannered soon-to-be billionaire, Alan Danvers. Their mission, to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them, and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team. Dominating with Dawson.
Miss Vicki,
Yes,
we need to do a Dominating with Dawson.
we absolutely do.
You know what, though?
What's that?
No Dawson.
No Dawson. Yeah, Dawson's kind of hung up.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be hung up for a little while longer, too.
Okay. You know what?
What's that?
I have somebody who's even faster than Dominating with Dawson.
Oh,
don't-
Lord.
Don't tell
No.
him that.
Right?
Either of them. Good Lord.
I think we should have like a contest for everybody who's co-hosted a Dominating with Dawson with us, and have them, like have Dawson be the Stig and see if they can, whether they're, we'll have a leaderboard and everything. We could get no TV to come there, and we could have it not published anywhere, and I could throw it up on YouTube. It'll be fun. We'll do it at VIR. It'll be fun.
VIR, yeah.
Same car. It'll be fun. It'll be great. You know who we have though?
Oh, yes, I know. One of my favorite people.
I know. Someone who races in Honda Challenge. I believe in H2. Someone who has also greatly outkicked his coverage, much like I have. Welcome back to the podcast, Con.
Hi, guys.
What's up?
So I have to take Ben Dawson's place. Is that what we're doing right
Yeah.
now?
You are
Okay.
Con Dawson.
Dawson.
I will do my best. I will do my best. I have opinions. They're not
Okay.
always right, but we'll see.
That's all right. You know what, though? As an added little spice, as an added little salt and pepper melange, we have the first ever Dominating with Dawson question that comes from the Blind Apex podcast that I just listened to today.
Okay. Shoot.
You had James on. And
Yeah,
you guys
James
were talking.
Houghton.
It was an excellent episode on Miss Vicki. You might want to pay attention to this one. How to move from the middle of the field to the front of the field. See, if Con
Yep.
said that, she would have heard me.
Selective deafness to husband's tone. Oh, she's blaming the headphones now. She's looking off into the left like The Rock at WrestleMania.
She's waiting for her producer to come fix it.
I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so Con, we were talking.
Yes, sir.
You were talking today with James, future podcast guest. He just doesn't know it yet. And you were talking about something that has bothered me for many, many moons. And one of the things that came up, it wasn't like one of the key focal points, but it was this little refinement that I think is pertinent to all of our cars since they are 3-pedal cars. He was saying that having the clutch pedal engagement all the way at the bottom is not optimal. He wanted it more towards the top.
Yes.
And I said, 2 questions. I think I understand the why, but I 100% do not understand how to do that. So why does James, and through indirect contacts in some your podcast,
and me,
and you know,
I agree.
Okay. So why at the top versus the bottom? Let's talk about that first.
So one, the first thing is it's the quickest way to engage it. Now, you don't want it all the way at the top. You want it like an inch of play and then engagement to operate. If you have it at the bottom, if you have a clutch master or a slave cylinder failing, like James and I would have with our K series front wheel drive cars, it stays on the floor.
Right.
And you'll know it's failing because if you have it at the top, it'll slowly work its way to the bottom. You might be able to limp through a race that way. If you have it on the bottom and it fails, you're out. You're out of luck.
Okay.
So there's 2 major reasons. It's faster to engage, therefore faster to shift because you're not doing the full travel. You're doing 1 inch of buffer or so plus the actual clutch engagement. And then also if you have a slave cylinder failure or a master cylinder issue in general, it will show itself and you'll be able to limp it around and or maybe finish the race, especially sprint racers.
Okay. Because one of the things you being, I'm trying to think what the technical term is, BMW impaired. You may not be familiar with the Bimmer World solution, which is to have a what they call a hotkey puck junior, and it sets the stop point at the bottom. You screw it in, and it keeps your clutch, and then you go just to past where the clutch fully engages, and then it's a false stop. But that doesn't move it higher or lower. It's still kind of towards the bottom. And I had always been under the impression you can't move it. Like that's not a movable point. It is what it is. I don't know why, but that's what I had always heard.
Okay. On a Honda, I don't know about this BMW stuff.
It's crazy stuff, yeah.
I'm sushi over bratwurst as far as race cars go. So
in sushi land.
In sushi land on a Honda, this goes for golden eras and the newer ones. The clutch master cylinder has a rod that attaches to the clutch pedal and you actuate it, and it's a hydraulic system that touches the slave hits the arm and works with the clutch, right? So the rod coming out of the clutch master cylinder going through the firewall that attaches to the clutch pedal, you adjust it. You in our instance, you take out a clevis pin, you knock out another pin that was retaining the whole thing, and then you make your adjustments, put everything back together, and then make sure laying on your back upside down on the bottom on the floor of your car
in a lotus position.
Yes. Yes, race car yoga is what we call it. But you go, okay, this time I'm going to the right, and you do a bunch of turns, right? Like a couple of turns, so it's significant. Then you put it in, get back out, test it. And if it went down, you went the wrong way. So you went a couple turns, go a couple turns back the other direction, add another couple turns. Test it again, and then just make sure. Some people, when we're racing, and people in general, you'll see them in traffic. They'll be driving 90 miles an hour in the right hand lane or middle lane, but not in the left hand lane passing anybody. They're just going crazy. You'll see them with full throttle and 3 brake lights on. Well, when we're racing, sometimes we're always cheating that clutch foot, our left foot, towards the clutch. So you want to build in a buffer so you're not partially activating your clutch.
Right.
Hmm.
So since Miss Vicki does the maintenance on our Honda, Miss Vicki, did you understand that?
I understand the yoga part.
Did you understand the Beavis pin or no?
Yeah, I think that no, I did not. I did not even know that that part existed. Because I've been always worried about just trying to hold the car together more than tweaking it, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So,
So the next
with us,
time
it
you're
makes
under your
sense.
dash,
yeah,
I prefer to do it with the seat out
yes,
because I'm not as flexible as I used to be. So my race car yoga is more comfortable, not
yeah.
like with my feet on the ceiling. But in your race Honda, there will be any street Honda in it too. There will be a square end of the pin and then it goes straight through the pedal and through the rod, and then on the other side there's a hole, and on that side is where there's like a clip pin set up. It's a pin that also has a hook, so it can't just fall out. You just pry it apart and then drop it down, and then you knock the square-headed pin out, and you're done. Well, then you can do your adjusting. So,
How did you learn how to do that? How did you know to do that?
um,
Did you YouTube
well,
it?
YouTube
no,
University.
I laid under there and was like, well, I got to do some adjustment here. So that's why I
Oh,
can't tell you which direction it goes.
right.
Um, when I actually didn't have any issues with my clutch master setup on my EM1 that I had years ago now. But when I first got this 8th gen Civic, if you have your clutch master adjusted too incorrectly, you can do things with the K series like bend shift forks because it won't actually engage all the way. So
I had that
I
happen in
actually
a
had to
Boxster too.
if it's too close to the floor, it won't engage all the way. And when you're trying to quick shift, you will bend things. And in a K series, it's the shift forks that usually die first. So we had to back it up off the floor.
Yeah, do you remember, Bill, we were having a problem with the clutch, and I think it had something to do with that area
On which car?
on the Honda. It was the Honda.
Uh,
We were having such an issue
I think
that
we couldn't bleed it. Was the
well,
problem.
right, we couldn't solve the clutch problem. And no matter how much we bled the car, we could not solve this clutch problem until we realized that it really wasn't a bleeding issue as much as it was. I mean, eventually it leads to a bleeding issue, but it was because of something with the mechanism of the pedal itself had kind of got a little janky. And we took it to the shop and they're like, oh yeah, this is what it is. And I'm like, I didn't know you could do that. I just knew that there was like a little adjustment pin, like a nut. Some people had placed a nut back there, but it was like a bumper pin or something that I thought
Oh,
is
that
what
was
it
the
was.
brake light.
Yeah, but no, it's not a brake light.
Remember, we lost the brake lights because that little
No, yeah,
the
yeah,
rubber thing
Plastic
yeah.
fell
face
out.
brakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
maybe it was a crank or adjustment or something that was on that. Yeah, but I think that was that area that you're talking about.
Well,
So
Yep.
sounds like you get to go play with the Honda when we get it back.
yeah, I'm gonna have to go check on it also.
Indeed.
So yep.
So one of the things we had, and I'm just trying to understand a little more because we're going to have a audience question if this was available in all cars and chime in on how to do it in other cars because it can't just be a Honda thing, but we'll see. So we were going through master cylinders and slave cylinders like it was going out of style. I think it was slave cylinders in our Porsche Boxster, which I eventually just gave up
Mhm.
because I had caused a momentary inventory loss pre-COVID of all of the slave cylinders in the Northeast. They were mine, and I had burst them all in a variety of different places. It was tremendous, and I think it came because the clutch was overextending and bursting the cylinder. And so I think this is somewhat related to that. And I did not know that this was available. That's why when you said it on the podcast, I'm like, well, coincidentally, Con will be on tonight. And we will have it as the first ever Dominating with Dawson from the Blind Apex podcast.
Yeah. So it is possible if you let the Germans engineer your car.
Wow.
Sorry.
At least you didn't say wheel bolts like Jaime.
Okay. There's that too.
Yeah.
I mean,
We changed those.
engineering
They
marvels
go
here.
away.
Right. It's possible depending on how the car is designed and how the slave cylinder is used to actuate the clutch. So it's definitely possible to overextend and cause issues. Even in a Honda, I guess you can have the slave cylinder extend too far and then it'll start leaking. I actually replaced one on my Honda Fit daily driver because there was more fluid was inside the rubber boot of the slave cylinder than probably in the entire system.
Wow.
I knew it as soon as I looked down. I was like, this clutch is getting close to the floor. I looked down. I opened the hood. I looked down at the slave cylinder and it was blowed up like a balloon.
Oh,
I was like, oh, I all the fluid's in there. I know where it's going. So I
not like
topped
it's
it
got a
off,
place
drove
to
it
hide.
home. Yeah. Well, it could leak. It didn't leak. It was all contained. It was a miracle. Because I just topped it off the system and drove it home and then fixed it at home. So
Yeah. Well, that's good. All right. Did we miss anything on this one? It was pretty
I don't think
simple.
so.
All right. Miss Vicki, you
Yeah,
going
it's
to
nice
fix
and
this for us?
yeah. I think when I get the Honda back, I'm going to start taking a look at some clutch stuff.
Yeah, because we got to take the engine and clutch out anyway. I mean, the engine and the transmission out anyway.
You do?
Amateur tip.
Amateur tip.
If you dead pedal your car, make sure if you like to rest your foot on the clutch,
Nope.
don't do that. Dead
No.
pedal your car to the same height or slightly higher than your clutch so that you have to go down to your clutch to engage it. So
Ooh, that's a good one.
We have dead pedals in all our cars. If
Yeah.
I have anything to say about it.
Always have a dead pedal in your car.
Especially
I don't.
race car.
I have a fuse box in the way. So
Oh,
Oh,
no.
I
no.
rest my
Yeah.
foot on the fuse box. It's cool.
Nothing can
You
go
move,
wrong
You
there.
can move that fuse box. You move that fuse box.
Oh, well, one day maybe.
Yeah.
I think that's, I don't think that's Con's favorite part of working
No.
on cars.
Not at all. I'm colorblind. I won't do any dominating with Dawson's for wiring. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay.
No.
Very well. Well, who knows what Dominating with Dawson will do next with you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.